Yeah, everyone, this is Thermites, and this is the Weekly Updates. As always, very first link down below is Weekly Shonen Jump. Please check it out. And then right under that, if you look down one more link, you will see Chainsaw Man. I don't actually remember which chapters they were. It was definitely up to like the most recent chapter. Let me do a quick check. I mean, it'd be faster if you checked yourself, dear viewer, but yeah, 107 to 113, I believe. It might have been 106, actually. One of these. But yeah, pretty darn big chunk. We left off with the school stuff that got resolved. We're now in the current arc, being vague in case anyone's not caught up and they happen to be watching this weekly update. Really damn good stuff. Had a lot of guesses. One of the big bonuses of having this many chapters in a row is that I could bring stuff up and then immediately have it be shot down in the next chapter. That was a fun feeling to have again, but I think I will try to, now that I'm caught up, stick to, when the chapters come out. I can't do live streams anymore for those, but I can still, record them privately and then put them out along with Jump. That should still be okay. We'll see. That is the plan right now. Now I just gotta do a Don at some point. We'll see. But anyways, speaking of things I am putting out and we will see and whatnot, I haven't promoted this in a little while, but if you go to any of my Jump videos, both the redirects and the actual videos that you can click through to see, don't pay attention to this if you are in fact a narc. If you go down to here, there is a full spreadsheet of my WSJ videos on YouTube, and you might be thinking, Thermites, you're really bad at keeping stuff updated, right? Well, guess what? I'm not the one who updates this, so it's actually kept up to date. This is, of course, the work of Gumu Gumu Fun on the server. Great friend of the channel. Honestly, I cannot say enough good about Gumu. Thank you for being there on the streams. Thank you for doing stuff like this, and also, being open to, giving me advice and stuff and whatnot, keeping me on track sometimes. Very, 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 appreciated. But yeah, so you can see this is a list of every single Jump series I have done that is at the very least cataloged. There are certain videos where I'm sure I started a thing and put that in its own video, and that's either on the full Thermite Kitty experience, which is the last link over here, or I may have just not saved them because there are some videos that were just lost last time I lost my channel. So but this is a extremely comprehensive look at all the weekly Shonen Jump stuff that is actually available. And when Gumu first made this, it was just the stuff where I had descriptions on on my actual account, which makes sense. And they recently updated it to now have to list everything from everything I have ever done, having to go through the things in the archive and pick out all the series that I did in each of those videos, which is buck wild. But yeah, so if you're looking for a specific chapter of something, or a reaction to a specific chapter or something, this makes it a lot easier to find. If you're also just curious about stuff, if you want to see what all the fuss around Noah's Notes is all about, you can check the first 3 chapters of this. One of the big differences, actually, I didn't really think about saying this or not, but yeah, dropped is used here as a notation for, whenever I stop doing the series. But this is so far back. This was back when Jump used to just do 3 chapters of a series, and then say outright, all right, let us know if you want us to keep doing it. We're going to stop for now. And that was a lie. Or rather, it was intended to be the case. But Noah's Notes actually was the series. We have it down to a science, where it was so popular, and other friend of the channel, Medi Not the Bad Guy, also had a bunch of his followers, specifically say, hey, write in, let Jump know that you want Noah's Notes to keep on going, and everyone, followed the rules, wrote in and said, please, 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 we love Noah's Notes, please do Noah's Notes. And not only did the English side not do Noah's Notes, but then, Noah's Notes was canceled, and it wasn't very clear, what? So many people were, there's such a clear outcry for the series. Does the system not mean anything? I do genuinely believe this is not actually a factual thing. Like, there's lots of interesting behind-the-scenes trivia I know about because I listen to the Weekly Shonen Jump podcast. This is not true, but I've always gotten the vibe that part of the reason why we have the current system of Jump, in which when a new series starts, it just immediately starts being officially translated, and they just do it regardless of whether they think it's going to be good or not. I feel like part of that does come down to the outcry for Noah's Notes. But yeah, very monumental. I feel like there's lots of interesting stories that can be told by going back through, these reactions and seeing what things were like at the time. Like, that's the thing. I can say all I want about stuff right now, but this is revisionist. This is me putting my own spin on things, whereas you can go back. If you want to see how I felt about the comic by Kazuki Takahashi, you can look at the reactions as I am doing them. You can see exactly how I felt every step of the way. I have all of Chainsaw Man on here. Like, again, it's a bit of a pain, and someday I really should sit down and, like, re-edit at least the Chainsaw Man ones, because there might actually be some sort of appeal for that. But at the very least, if you really, really need to, you can go back and see some of the chapters I did back in the day. You can see how I felt about the series when it first started. You can see, my first reaction to, the end of the Katana Man stuff. It's pretty amazing. And yeah, there's tons of stuff here where I completely forgot they even happened. People talk about, like Noah's Notes or the comic or, but no one's talking about, like, The Last Sayuki, which I think is genuinely a really incredible series that had a lot of potential to be even better than it was. No one's talking about Samurai 8 by the creator of Naruto, which I did drop this. I didn't go all the way. If you want a full reaction to this, actually, I believe Donut has those on his channel. And Donut was very, very into Samurai 8, whereas I was kind of eh. But yeah, I mean, you can still see how I felt about them in the moment. Like, where I had hope, where I didn't, my exact, feelings of strength and weakness. It's fascinating. It's genuinely so cool. I'm so happy to have a resource like this now. Because it also just feels like a time machine for me as someone who was here for the whole thing. Oh, man. Also, on the side, there is, of course, a extra thing for just one-shots. And by one-shots, it is less like one-shot manga. Part of it is one-shot manga, but part of it's also just, other stuff. Like, here is, like, the Oda interview, or, I guess, what did I mean by hot? What was hot in 2018? That's what I have to look into. But yeah, a fair number of these are actually, manga one-shots. But some of these, especially as you get closer and closer to the modern day, you get things like just, oh yeah, I did a segment that was about my cat, Miles. Oh boy. I can't believe you guys watched this. I feel truly, truly blessed to, A, have someone who cares enough about the channel to catalog this kind of stuff, and also to believe that there are potentially people out there who might use this resource in order to look at old stuff. Like, you're not just sitting through hours of me doing crap every week. You might even have the patience to go back in time to look when I did old crap. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's enough self-flagellation / promotion. I don't think there's anything else really to say. I thought this was so cool. I talked about this a little bit on this live stream. I also talked a little about it about it before the live stream. It's it's just extremely cool. It's extremely, extremely cool. Oh, man. But yeah. That is the spreadsheets. Apart from that, there's not that much else I need to say. I covered that I did Chainsaw Man. This is not recorded anywhere, but at the end of this whole stream, I did sit down and watch the first episode of Me and Roboco with the community. Which, I mean, it was 3 minutes, and also, for whatever reason, I can't broadcast audio from my computer when I'm doing that, so it wasn't a god-tier experience or anything. You're not losing out on that much, but it was still extremely, extremely fun. If you want more shenanigans like that, then feel free to join the server, because that's where you can find all those beautiful, beautiful shenanigans. yeah, that's basically it. I don't have much else to really say. But yeah, thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel. Now that we're caught up to Chainsaw Man, the next step is hopefully, eventually, doing a Don. That will happen when it happens. Anyways, I've kept you here for like 10 minutes. That's it. You're free to go. Class dismissed. Bye for now. Nya nya.